Today we are doing the ultimate Tudor Black Bay video. I've gotten 3 different Tudor Black Bay dive watches, so the original Black Bay, the Tudor Black Bay 58, and the brand new Black Bay 54. I'm really hoping this video can be a resource to you if you're looking to add a Tudor Black Bay to your life, but you're not really sure which one's for you. Because although these watches may look similar, there's a lot of differences between them that make a big difference on the wearing experience. If you're new here, hi, my name is Brittany, and on this channel we just talk about watches in a hopefully not pretentious and joyful way. Something you should know about me before we go any further is I'm a massive Tudor fangirl. I think Tudor is the brand I've been the most excited about these last 3 years with the way they've been innovating the Black Bay, experimenting with different materials, even the way they've been playing around with the Pelagus line and reviving the Ranger. When it comes to the rough and ready, well-built tool watch, it's Tudor all the way for me. Also, I have a broken jaw right now, so before you comment, pro tip, try opening your mouth when you talk. I'm doing my best, okay? So let's get the boring stuff out of the way comparing these 3, looking at the specifications going from our largest model to the smallest. The original Tudor Black Bay Burgundy has a case diameter of 41.5 millimeters, lug to lug of 49.7 mil, and a thickness of 12.6. I've measured this including the case back in dome sapphire. It doesn't feel as thick as that, but still, she carries a bit of wrist presence. Now I should note, I have the original version, I have the original model in today from my gorgeous, fabulous friend Ben of wristworthy.uk watch publication, so go check him out if you have a minute, but after this video. So thank you so much, Ben. And his model is the first variation of this, so instead of having the Tudor Shield logo, this one has the rose, smiley face self-winding at the 6 o'clock, and inside this watch is the ETA 2824 automatic movement giving you 38 hours of power reserve. One of the notable differences between the modern Black Bay and the one we have in today is the movement. So if you want to get this exact same version now, brand new, it will feature the Tudor manufacturer caliber MT5602-U movement, giving you 70 hours of power reserve. So quite the jump up in that department, and you have the option of getting the Tudor Not Jubilee 5-link bracelet. But more on that later. Moving on to our next watch, the Tudor Black Bay 58. This watch has a case size of 39 millimeters, a lug to lug of 47.5 mil, and a thickness of 11.6 millimeters. Once again, that's including the dome sapphire. It doesn't wear as large as it sounds. Inside the Black Bay 58 is the in-house caliber 5402 movement, giving you 70 hours of power reserve. I have the Black Bay 58 specifications completely memorized because I talk about it to a fault. And last, we have the newest Tudor Black Bay, the Black Bay 54. I describe this one as vintage diver proportions, but with modern specifications. So this one has a case size of 37.3 millimeters, a lug to lug of 45.8, and a thickness of 11 millimeters with the case back and dome sapphire included. Inside this one is the manufacturer caliber MT5400, giving you 70 hours of power reserve. So I will make a little chart, and hopefully it comes up now, showing you all the differences in the specifications. The most notable differences really are the size and movement capabilities. But hey, be nice to the original Black Bay Burgundy. It's like 10 years older and the whole reason we're in this Black Bay craze in the first place. Let's talk about the wearing experience now, because in my opinion, this is the most important thing about a watch. A watch can have the most amazing specifications or charmed backstory, but if it doesn't look or feel right on the wrist, none of that matters. So here is these 3 on my 5.5-inch wrist. I would say the original Black Bay is just that little bit too large for me. The Black Bay 58 is flirting with being too large, but I still wear it and love it. But it's skirting some lines. And the Black Bay 54 is just right. Still a bit on the large side for me, but I like wearing slightly larger watches. It's perfect. I love it. And here's these 3 on my husband's 6.5, but he insists it's really 6 3/4 inch wrist. Annoyingly, these all look significantly better on his wrist. I would recommend the Black Bay Burgundy for a larger wrist, so a 7-inch wrist size and up, the Black Bay 58 for a 6-inch wrist to 7-inch wrist, and the Black Bay 54 for a 5.5-inch wrist. Honestly, I would even go as high as 7-inch wrist if you like vintage proportions. But you know, it's your money, it's your tastes. If you like your watches to wear a little bit larger or smaller, ignore all my size guidelines. That was just my recommends. And I always say as well, make sure you try a watch on first. You might have it in your head that you're gonna like one size more than another, but I always like to leave myself a little bit of room to be surprised by what I might like or not like. Now, the biggest difference between these three, aside from the case diameters, is the thickness. So turning these over, the Black Bay Burgundy has got some wrist presence. He's a thick boy. Then we have the Black Bay 58, which is still pretty slab-sided. And then this is where the Black Bay 54 really steals the show for me. Much, much thinner, and it can easily slide under a cuff. There really is no right or wrong answers when it comes to thickness. It's personal taste and preference. I have friends who prefer a big, chunky, tooly feeling watch, and other friends who prefer a slimmer watch. Another massive difference is the bracelets and clasps. So the original Tudor Black Bay Burgundy has a really nicely brushed stainless steel bracelet with no faux rivets. The Tudor fans rejoice! Looking at the clasp, there are some micro adjustments that can be made with a tool by pushing the spring bars in at the side of the clasp and gliding to your preferred location. Now, if you're looking at the most current version of this one, it is available on the Tudor 5-link, definitely not Jubilee bracelet. And this one does indeed have the T-fit clasp. Although I have not seen this specific Black Bay on the 5-link bracelet, I have seen the Black Bay 39, and it is really, really nice. It is just a well-built, solid case construction. It looks great. Okay, next, the Tudor Black Bay 58 is kind of the halfway house between these three. So this one has the fairly contentious faux rivet bracelet, also with no on-the-fly adjustments, but can be adjusted using a tool. And lastly, the Black Bay 54 has the same bracelet as the Black Bay 58 with the faux rivets, but it is fitted with the Tudor T-fit clasp, giving you 5 positions of on-the-fly micro adjustments. If you're saving for a Black Bay right now and it's still going to take a little bit of time, rumor has it that Tudor's going to be fitting all their sports watches with the T-fit clasp. So maybe wait a little bit and see if that does come to fruition, if you value on-the-fly adjustments. Okay, so before we finish here, I just want to look at the pros and cons of each of these and who might be attracted to the different offerings. So the Black Bay Burgundy is great for someone who has a larger wrist or likes a watch with a little bit of wrist presence. It is very warm in appearance with the red bezel and the gilt. This model that we have in today, so the original, has some beloved staples like the Tudor Rose logo and the smiley self-winding. But if you're looking at the newest model particularly, some benefits include the movement, master chronometer, manufacturer caliber MT5602-U with 70 hours of power reserve, and different bracelet options as well. So you have the 5-link, definitely not Jubilee, or you have the oyster bracelet or rubber, all with the T-fit clasp. Something to note as well, this is the Black Bay with the most different color and metal variations. So there's the burgundy, blue, ceramic, black, date or no date. Some cons, it is larger. I know I'm sized out of this one, even though I love everything about it. And if you opt for the original, like the one I have today, there is no T-fit clasp. Sad times. Next watch, so the pros and the cons of the Black Bay 58. I think this one is the perfect catch-all size. I think the most amount of people will be attracted to the 39mm case diameter. It has a few different color options as well, so I have the more cold feeling one with the blue, but there's a black and gilt, there's a bronze, silver, gold. The Black Bay 58 has the COSC certified movement, giving you 70 hours of power reserve. But on the downside, there is the contentious faux rivet bracelet and no on-the-fly adjustment in the clasp. Moving on to the Black Bay 54. The big advantage with this one is the size. If you have a smaller or mid-sized wrist, or if you like a watch with more vintage proportions. It also has a COSC certified movement, giving you 70 hours of power reserve, and the Tudor T-Fit clasp, so you have the on-the-fly micro adjustments. On the con side is the size. I think there'll be a lot of people who hear the 37 millimeters and shy away from that, or think that's too small for them. There is no other color options. This is it. There's only the black and gilt as of the time of recording. And of course, Tudor keeping the faux rivets on the bracelet. Have I blathered on enough yet? I think I have. Okay. So guys, this was my ultimate Tudor Black Bay video. Hopefully this can help out anyone who's thinking of buying a Black Bay and trying to decide which one is for them. But as always, make sure you go into the shop first and try it on. You might be surprised what you like or don't like. Speaking of liking things, if you liked this video, give it a like, maybe even subscribe. It helps out the channel so much. And let's thank the patrons. You guys already know this because I posted on Gringa Patreon, but this is my second time recording this, which means it's my second time doing this joke. So I didn't have a joke for today, so I googled best joke in the world. I'll do the same joke. Let's see if it makes me laugh. It did make me laugh the first time, so let's see if it gets me again. Okay. A woman gets on a bus with her baby. The bus driver says, "Ugh, that's the ugliest baby I've ever seen." The woman walks to the rear of the bus and sits down, fuming. She says to the man next to her, "The driver just insulted me." The man says, You go up there and tell him off. Go on. I'll hold your monkey for you." Okay, that got a big laugh from me last time, but not as big this time. Yeah. And also, I need to thank, this isn't the newest Gringa patron, but I forgot to thank him. I forgot to add him to the list. But in my defense, I had a brain injury, okay? I just wanted to thank Steven for supporting my weird little channel and being ever so patient with me, even though I forgot to add him to the list. Thank you. Anyways, bye guys.